All right, welcome back. A real treat here. Ladies, if you're planning on taking a solo trip or you're just worried about traveling alone, Tara O'Brien from Hostelling International has some great tips and tricks to help you get started on your journey. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning.
So a lot of folks are nervous about taking a trip by themselves. Talk about some of the advantages to doing that on your own.
There are a lot of advantages to traveling alone. I think that, you're always going to run across some obstacles in your journeys, no matter how well prepared you are. And it can be a very good confidence-building experience for many women. For example, an obstacle that I personally ran across on one of my last trips to Manzanillo, Mexico, I had arranged to stay at a private house the last night with some relatives. They were out of town, left me the keys. That evening, I left all of my belongings and took a taxi and went out to dinner. Somehow, after dinner, I realized I lost the key. So I tried to flag down a taxi of the same company, translated with the driver to get to a point where he understood I was without the key. He helped me get in contact with the other taxis to see if they could find the key, but to no avail. So I asked, do you know a locksmith? He just happened to know at 10 o'clock at night a locksmith that he was willing to go and pick up and bring back. So we bring the locksmith back, and after about an hour, it turns out that this locksmith is not able to get the keys, and unlock the doors. So I asked at that point to throw my hands up in the air, stay in a hotel for the night, contacted the relatives in the morning, got myself in, got my luggage, and actually made my flight out in time.
But you had the experience of the adventure, and that's the important part, right?
Yes, it is. And another good thing about it is that you have flexibility. You're not waiting for someone else's schedule to wake up and to go where you want to go. You could spend all day at an archaeological dig or going to a museum if you want to, or take a rest day also. And through the hostels, you do have an opportunity, even though you're traveling solo, to meet a lot of people. People will approach you. They're curious about you. They want to know where you live and where you're from just as much as you want to know about their culture. So it's a great way to meet new friends and to explore, or maybe have someone to go on an adventure with or go out to dinner with.
What would you say are some of the tips to making yourself approachable in terms of your dress, the way you might act in another country? What would you suggest?
Well, I think that you need to use some common sense and be really comfortable in your surroundings. There are some concerns with safety, and you definitely want to try to blend in. Look at the gender roles of the women in the particular class in the country that you're in. Do they wear long sleeves? You might want to pack a scarf or something to cover your head. Whatever is appropriate and acceptable. If you're in your Adidas jogging shoes and you've got on, your fancy jewelry, you're going to pretty much stick out more like a target.
So doing your homework is really a key thing here.
In advance. And another concern is, you don't want to look lost and confused. Get your maps out beforehand, kind of figure out where you want to go, walk with confidence to and from your destinations. You don't want to be standing on the street corner with a map looking like a helpless victim. And it's also very important as far as your travel documentation and your valuables. I have a little money purse that I keep.
Show us a few of the things that you have here to help out while traveling alone.
These are really neat. They can go inside, underneath of your clothing, with the neck strap. Some of them actually have a layer, it's like a shield inside of them, and it'll prevent people from being able to scan the little chips that are inside of your credit cards or anything else like that and do identity theft, especially when you're in really public big locations like train stations and such. Keep all of your travel documents, very little cash, mostly your credit cards and travelers' checks and things, inside something like this and on your person.
Close to your body.
Close to your body. And there are some that you can even, strap down inside. I often recommend that you keep a credit card and a little bit of cash in 2 or 3 different locations on your person.
Okay, and you have an event tonight at 7 p.m. at REI here in Kearney Mesa. Tell us a little bit about that and what folks will learn.
Well, folks are going to learn a lot more about what to pack and budget, everything that I've talked about today, and then more. Some of the things that are nice, real briefly, when packing, make sure that you have something that has straps so that you can be hands-free, easier access to your documents.
Talk about these locks here as well.
Yeah, this is a TF TSA lock. It's airline approved. Always lock your luggage, even, you know, in your hotel room or wherever it is that you're staying. These little locks are very handy. The airlines can still access your bags if they need to do an inspection. And then some other things that are really nice, always try to think about what you're going to pack, lay everything out in advance, and make sure that things go with like multiple items. Take everything, lay it out, and then take half of it and don't pack it. You want to travel pretty light in case you need to haul things quite a ways, or, you know, as you travel and you accumulate new things, your bag is going to slowly fill up.
Okay, well, thank you so much for all these tips. You know, I've always, I have a friend who I've always admired because she just travels on her own and has no problem with it, but with your tips, it's very helpful. And if you would like some tips as well, you can go to our website, sandiego6.com, or to the event. It is free to the public tonight at REI.